Hello, everyone, and welcome to OB Clarity with Dr. Godfrey. I'm Dr. Godfrey, PhD RN, and today I have something special for you all. I have a guest. I'm so excited, and I'm going to just start right out and let this person introduce themselves.
My name is Mr. Godfrey. I'm the husband of Dr. Godfrey.
That's right, everybody. Today, my special guest is my husband, and we're going to be talking about pregnancy surprises, what my husband thought versus what students need to know. So, we're going to share some funny stories from my pregnancy, but they also have real lessons for nursing students. So, we're going to start out with something. And I think I'll let my husband share a little bit about this situation that happened with us.
Okay, we were out at a friend's house, and I noticed that Dr. Godfrey's neck was looking a little dirty. So I called over and said, "Hey, what's going on? Your neck kind of dirty. What's going on with that?"
He did, everybody. He kept staring at me from across the room. And I said, "What is he looking at me like this for?" And when I got closer, he said, "Did you wash your neck today?" And I said, "Yes, I washed my neck." I was so embarrassed, so I asked the people in the home that we were visiting, "Do you have alcohol and a cotton ball so I can wipe the back of my neck?" That's something that we did in my little hometown. And my neck looked clean, everybody. But let me tell you what was happening. What I had was a condition called cloasma, okay, or melasma, and that is a condition that occurs when you're pregnant due to hormones. It's a hyperpigmentation. It's normal, nursing students. So if your neck happens to look dirty, it just might be melasma. And then after the melasma, we had another situation. And I'm going to let Mr. Godfrey tell you what that was.
Well, the doctor said she had something that I thought was a disease.
Yeah.
And I asked the doctor, "Whoa, wait a minute, doctor, how'd she catch something like that?"
And so what happened, everybody, is I had GBS. Now, what that stands for is Group B Streptococcus. And so that sounded very strange to my husband. And when the doctor said, "Oh, she has GBS," Mr. Godfrey says she has GB who? And my doctor had to explain that, "Oh, this is a bacteria. It lives in the woman, in the vagina and the rectum, actually. And it's there, and it's not a problem unless women aren't treated." So what has to take place is between 35 and 37 weeks of pregnancy, the doctors will culture that, screen the woman, and she would receive antibiotics in labor. So I'm so happy to know that it wasn't a sexually transmitted infection.
Amen.
So that's something that's very important, and I hope you guys will remember that. GBS, the big word is Group B Streptococcus, simply a bacteria that lives in a woman. And, once we're treated in labor, things are much better because the babies can get sick. Moms don't typically get sick, but the babies can. Now, you know what? We have one more story. I have to tell you about something that happened between my oldest son when my youngest son was born. This story is something different. Do you recall what happened, Mr. Godfrey?
Yes. Dr. Godfrey had just given birth to our second son. So I brought my oldest son, who was 4 at the time, to the hospital to visit mom and baby. We go by to see Dr. Godfrey. Everything was fine. I said, "Come on, son, let's go down and see your baby brother." So we go down there and we're looking through the glass. I said, "There he is right there." And my son, my 4-year-old, has this strange look in his eyes. I said, "What's wrong, son?" He said, "I don't know, Dad." I said, "You don't know what?" "I don't know. He don't look like us." I said, "What you mean don't look like us?" "He's awful light-skinned, Dad."
And so why this is funny, everybody, is that this is a custom and this is a part of a culture. When African Americans, many of us that have our babies, when they're born, their skin color is very light. And so my son was looking, wondering, is he in the right family? And so that's just something to learn, Over time, his skin color was very similar to his brother's. And as you care for little babies in the nursery, often you will find that their scrotum, their breast buds, the back of the sides of their ears even will be a little bit darker. That'll typically tell you for the most part what their color will be like later in life. So it's just reinforcing normal versus something abnormal because it's not. So that was a fun time, wasn't it?
Yes.
We laughed, we laughed. So, guys, I just hope that these three stories will help you to think about it's things that you can learn. Cloasma, we talked about, Group B Streptococcus, and newborn skin color surprises, which is really normal. So, the takeaway, first of all, I have to wrap up by saying thank you to my husband.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you being here. And just to make sure that everyone understands that some pregnancy changes are just normal and harmless, and that's what we talked about today. So, if you are thinking about continuing to work in an obstetrical area, please consider some of these things that will take place. So we hope you come back to join us next week. And please remember, never forget, I want you to always assess, don't guess.